It's here for Mimo Bibia Kwaba Eba Melodies TV so. Well, I mean, not I mean, and you say Ghana for we were even expecting anything different. At yes, yeah. Until finally, Supreme Court's decision ruling about now Oshe ruling now Supreme Court Ediabana, just as a lot of people were expecting. That's the same thing. A year Supreme Court Edi Ababe to your name. Supreme Court a ruling against Alban Bagbin. Now, Omoy declare say the 4 seats it shouldn't be vacant. So the Supreme Court didn't respect precedents. They didn't respect the constitution of this land. They just went ahead to rule. Okay. So idea we are Supreme Court, it has implications for this country. In fact, it is going to have future implications for this country. And the fact that these judges didn't think of the future of this country and they just gave this ruling, it speaks a lot of the type of people we have at the helm of affairs in this country. What you say? I need to let people understand, say, Mbrebi by na Ghana, Omano Mudi Yeswa, Omoye, Omoboya Bro, Eye Abrofo, the colonizers. Embra colonizers no call yen say colonizers no echo. Iti ya yemu nipebi into me yen sa. But what we don't realize and say the elites in our society have now become our colonizers. And it's as simple as that. So Ghana, we are still under colonial rule. But this time around, the colonial rule is our own people. The elites they have become our colonizers. Now, I read the Supreme Court, because Supreme Court decision, anyway, let me read so you see what the Supreme Court said. I say, the Supreme Court has overruled Speaker Alban Bagbin's declaration of 4 parliamentary seats as vacant, ruling that the decision was unconstitutional. The Supreme Court's verdict follows a suit filed by Alexander Kwame Afenyomakin, the leader of the New Patriotic Party caucus, challenging Speaker Bagbin's ruling. The court, led by Chief Justice Gertrude Tukonu and comprising 7 justices, ruled in favor of Afenyomakin, accepting all his arguments in a 5-2 majority decision to win unanimous. Judges 7, 5 Erulima Afenyomakin, and a 2 Erulima Alban Bagbin. Also, per the Supreme Court's ruling, the New Patriotic Party reclaimed its position as the majority in Parliament. The controversy over the vacant seats began when Speaker Alban Bagbin, following a petition from Haruna Idrisu, the Member of Parliament for Tamale South, declared 4 seats, namely Agona West, Fomena, Suhum, and Amenfi Central vacant. The decision was based on the fact that representatives from these constituencies had either crossed the floor to contest the 2024 parliamentary election as independents or had joined a different party from one they represented upon entry in 8th Parliament. The Speaker's ruling, we all know the Speaker's ruling now. Also, the Chief Justice Gertrude Tukonu expressed concern over the potential disenfranchisement of constituents who might lose their parliamentary representation without the option of elections, especially with the upcoming December 7 general elections. The Chief Justice directed both parties to submit their statement of claim within 7 days to ensure a swift resolution. Now, ruling Supreme Court ama decision wama the entire. Okay, Supreme Court ama explanation biya. Asemo can say omo di assembly tia Alban Bagbin. Na explanation omo de beba later. Yes, that's what the Supreme Court said. Intino omo di assembly tia Alban Bagbin. Ya bo Alban Bagbin in semwegu. Into explanation ebeba later. Now, I'll come and then I'll read comments so you see what Ghanaians are saying. But listen, this is a major wake-up call to the NDC. This is a major wake-up call to the NDC. Listen, ma enye NDC for say, ebia MPP for be no more NDC they are Supreme Court. They are never going to win. My fear for the NDC is that NDC na be winning. na fe MPP no epeja assembly they are Supreme Court. And on the kokopie ne sa, what do you think is going to happen? Say MPP for trail say they have 1,001 ways to win this election, sir. What do you think they are talking about? NDC bet to me winning all right. But say NDC winning, now MPP now they assembly echo Supreme Court. So Supreme Court judges say what and they. Do you believe say they will be fair and they will say indeed NDC winning? Do you believe that they will do that? With a case that is as clear as day as we and any ruling at Ediaba and all we are seeing. Me say kona ko hwe interview achachichi kata ye with Sewa Amiye and you hear utin semo achachichi kata ye kan obehu ne say Charlie we are doomed. Let me show you something for people who think it is not a possibility. My main show BB the NDC for no they are stuck in trade. I'm showing you something. Baby is here. I want to show you baby something happened, right? Look at this story. This story was reported by allafrica.com in 2009. Now, that time no na NDC at a mills ewini. Read the story no. Or say Accra crisis seems to have set into the presidential election of Ghana as the ruling New Patriotic Party is asking the court to stop the Electoral Commission of Ghana from declaring the results of the election in 10 constituency on Friday. MPP also decided to boycott the election in a constituency that will eventually determine the successor to President John Kufuor after the court refused to grant an ex-party motion delaying the election from being held. In 2009, Embrana NDC a winning at Amels o winning. MPP for the Miracle Court say aka constituency bakra ye friend 10. Na sa 10 constituency no na NDC a winning. MPP at the Miracle Court e kwa catch the court say wamon prevent the Electoral Commission from announcing the results because they saw that NDC was winning. It was a change of government. Na MPP ne wa abamu a NDC eba. Look at what the courts did. Courts ne bo MPP phone same guye. The same ex-party and the afenyoma kende call ya and the Chief Justice say so mu no. Sa time no attachia at the ex-party e call courts. Courts has someone wakatre and said dabi untumi bambe yes ade we wa ha. That time courts ne bon same ne guye. Me pese me katre NDC for say MPP for can say and we have ways to win. And ya will say the current setup of the judiciary. Yemfa say NDC a winni na ka last constituency na MPP dimrika the expert ya ko Supreme Court. Ya say Supreme Court we obey ruling na we rule ama MDC ana. Supreme Court we obey ruling ama NDC. It's a question I'm asking. Supreme Court we any omo precedents afenyoma kende expert ba ya gidi yedi gidi enti according to achachichi kata gidi na omo ye nti omo ye mistakes bebre ewo gidi nsem omo ye nimu nti Supreme Court we na election MPP nimse aka last constituency no mo lusu no mo demirika ko Supreme Court we yenim Supreme Court we ebebo MPP fo nsem egu afenyoma kinimpo ni aso na asem yembu constitution impo. The fact that even in MPP's constitution wakanwom say once you declare independence no we free party nim no the Supreme Court didn't even respect that. The fact that Ghana's constitution po akan wembu Supreme Court we it's just a question I'm asking. It may catch NDC for say I was some mama we need out or some mama money da hopa MPP forecast they will win no and yen ni na say election no they will win no ni na say when you say the way it is going MPP forecast they will win no me what I see na say Charlie sankrofo we yan hwe ni ye a ube wini now so they know that yeah the and no say o me package case no dey Supreme Court but with Sebe absurd ruling according to criticism and eba with absurd rulings are ebe yon wan say NDC win in dey akwa to Supreme Court and na Supreme Court aka say NDC win ya boegu ebe yon wan do you think that there are some people that think about this country? If you think that there are some people that think about this country, do you think this is a decision ebi mo beteki, a decision that is clear in our constitution? Do you think? So whatever they want to do, they should do. Okay, Ghana for be now comment one same way. So you read some of the comment here the Ghana for can, but may catch NDC for be on the lookout. Mama winning that because send your DNA connect young fan chemo. These are not people Mama winning that may catch them. Also, some of us are not surprised at it because we knew the outcome before today. Also, justice lies in the conscience of the people, not in the bosom of the judiciary. We don't care what the Supreme Court's filthy 5 or silly 7 or naughty 9 says. The 5-2 verdict is obvious. Obviously, surprisingly, what is the new news about this predictable, foreseen verdict? Also, Jezebel Tukonu is NPP Women's Wing leader. Also, NDC will lose the election again. Also, NPP Women's Organizer, Ayuko. Obi akwa investigation that ama mami embra na wo school no na or MPP group mu ana send your friend women organizer no embredu ema no ye or ye women organizer na because chale on fa hu Christopher ya na ye problem Christopher ya na ye problem ye be kwa sorry ni akwa ko preachi ye ba ye bu asem a ye re fikra se ye nimnyame ya na ye problem. I said that's the plan, to rig the elections and tell the NDC to go to court. But we will go to this stupid court. I see Ghana burning. In any case, how can a stupid liar and an arrogant idiot lead Ghana say no to Baumia stroke Napo combo? Say no to the MP picks. MP picks, never again. I say you don't live in a real world. Obi say it is up to the NDC MPs to decide where to sit in the House. The House has its rules, and it is the Speaker who commands the House. Where separation of powers works, it is the Parliament that decides. It's up to the NDC. NOB cannot. Well, it's up to the NDC to also say, Sisiano, we are looking forward to what the NDC will do. We are looking forward to what the NDC will say. Yabeka say, Omobeka say, well, Sisia, they don't care about the sitting. They want to sit wherever they want to sit. Say, no, so Beko saying. I say, is it because you see all Ghanaians as fools? Unless Ghanaians are not feeling the suffering, the corruption, and the wickedness. Obisi go bend the sea. Obisi now, the Bimbak should be impeached for creating an unnecessary constitutional crisis and removed from office. Also, we knew the verdicts before Afenyo filed his case. The majority of the judges on the Supreme Court's bench hold fidelity to the MPP and not the Constitution. This is a joke. Nation wreckers. Also, they can make and unmake the law. Just that 7-0 was overly criticized. So the MPP Supreme Court changed status small, so that they may get public sympathy. MPP Court said, let's lift injunction on NDC parliamentary candidates and quickly add 2 judges. So you are very right, my brother. It was planned for 2 of them to dissent to give a false impression. I say this coming election will have something similar. MPP, after realizing they are losing, will instigate troubles in many constituencies and run to the court. Me say, MPP for strategy no. It's up to the NDC. I say, then Shege will happen in Ghana, mark my words. I say, now, MPP, 138 members of parliament, should make sure to sleep in the chambers. If not, none of their useless and stupid issues will be passed. I say, shame unto Bagbin, his emptiness has been exposed. There is no shred of dignity left in him. Bravo, Ghana is the winner. I say Santro Kofi, Akpafo, and others have been without a parliamentary rep for the 8th parliament. and it's cool with you, you can twist the law to your favor, but you cannot twist the voter stamp come December 7th elections. I say, ha ha ha, Ghana is the funniest country in the world today. Oh my God, I can't stop laughing. Akufo-Addo has destroyed the judiciary and the EC. I say, yes, Ghana is the funniest country in the world. It is full of many educated idiots and intellectual, insincere and dishonest people. What a shameful country. I say, don't blame the Supreme Court for the failure of Bagbin and NDC to read the Constitution. The Constitution says only the High Court has the jurisdiction to determine whether seats are vacant or not, which means the Speaker can only enforce but not rule that seats are vacant. Nowhere in our Constitution that the Speaker has the power to make a ruling that seats have become vacant. Technically, the ruling of Bagbin was unconstitutional. It doesn't matter if there's a precedence which wasn't brought before the Supreme Court. Anyone could have challenged Michael Quay when he declared Formina vacant, but he got away with it because no one did. So if the NDC really want to pursue the case, they should go to the High Court and stop the media hula baloo. As for the Supreme Court, they haven't touched the case itself, but the constitutionality of Bagbin's ruling, which is clearly under their jurisdiction. As the Bagbin never ruled, go back and listen to what happened in Parliament that day. As the coming events cast their shadows. As a grandpa, you knew it because it is the agenda of your political party to make the judiciary unpopular and to look bad in the eyes of our supporters. I say, what do you expect from a Chief Justice who does not even know the difference between Boga and Boko? Just like Martin Amidu, Ebabebo Chief Justice Nechino. I say, from Banana Republic to Yamu to Republic. And I understand why we are where we are as a demarcated area called a country Ghana. I say, very obvious and well anticipated. I say, Papasi, you are an enlightened individual. That is all I can tell you. I say, are we surprised? I say, well done. It will be a precedent forever. And I make a no. Oh, it will be a precedent forever. Now, only more berry MPP for Nangasa. Yet it will be a precedent forever. Obviously, no news. I say, the whole country knew this would be your ruling. I say, when you don't put up a defense, what outcome were you expecting? What is the surprise here? Obviously, this is no news. We all know the outcome. I say, the latest thief in town is a whole paramount chief of Kwewu, who was first dismissed by the president and later destood by kingmakers of bribery and corruption at ADB. I say, and who will obey such a silly ruling? I say, many of us are aware that it was going to be 5-2 in favor of MPP. I say, we are not surprised. We knew it will end this way from the onset when the stay was granted. I say, oh, you are just what we thought. I say, if the so-called Supreme Court cannot unanimously agree on a particular interpretation to the extent that 2 of the 7 judges hold dissenting views, then the Speaker's declaration should stand. Ayo. I say, useless Supreme Courts lead by Isabatu Konu, the prostitute. Hey, Mr. Mr. I don't have any. He said prostitute to Mr. And we don't have anything to say about that. I say, from this judgment, her husband can stay with her and go and fuck around and come back to her, just like the MPs are doing. Foolish country. I say, anyone who expected a different verdict from this might be smoking something. I say, this is no news. I say, the 2 new Supreme Court judges who were introduced into the case voted in favor of the Speaker, and the 5 old judges still maintain their stand. What does this tell you? I say, they intentionally brought the 2 to avoid the shame of unanimous. Now, they will say it is a split decision. You Ghana focus. I say, now they will say it's a split decision. I say, unanimous FC, we the Ghanaian people knew already, but we still stand with the Speaker of Parliament to never accept this ruling, or the military should enter, period. I say, military to intervene in our throne is no hair. I say, but this no be new truth. I say, this no be new. Truth no day again, oh, Mother Ghana. I say, and you call it breaking news? Ha 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 ha. We all knew it was going to be like this. I say, what a shameful decision. It wasn't surprising since it was already known. I say, it is no news. I say, who doesn't know the outcome of this case? So just like I was telling you, no. Now, there's also another case. Listen, I want people to understand something. The person Crawford Bibiasi say, whatever is going on in the judiciary today, you know, whatever is going on in the judiciary today, you know, I want what the other, and then it has been it has been a tradition with the judiciary to most often to be siding with the MPP. Enyende, we at Mills time. At Mills, in reading the speech, Emra will win here or addressing the nation, no, he threw jab to the judiciary. Me say utie the story. This story was reported on 8th March 2012, right? Now, let's read this story. As presenting his fourth State of the Nation address, President Mills subtly attacked judges because of his administration's inability to win cases in court, stating that there was perception that the judiciary was on the side of wrongdoers. And see, now, at Mills, complaining about judicial. That time now, NDC for Abayemuno. Now, at Mills, complaining about judges. Say judges be brainano case bar. Omo he case the mundi ni ye. They be an almost sided with the NDC. Sorry, almost sided with the MPP. Into a trust say it has been a tradition. It has been a tradition for a very long time. Say in the judiciary, no, most often, no, they are aligned with the MPP. I don't know. And none I see yet Rollins time. I command Crofobie, a cocochi judges no ekuomono. Why? Because that time so not omo complaining. Say judges no assemble omo nsha assembly mundi ni ye omo side with the MPP. That time the forefathers of the MPP no. Ain't as to how MPP for to me filtrate the judiciary. Emma from no ababedane sa ada what lende ye complaining no. Say yan heni ntumi anye ni bibia. Ghana ye be complaining na echimba so ababa be complaining. If there is a way to reform the judiciary, I think that when NDC comes, when Mahama comes, that should be the thing he should do. Madam Asemoisi, won't you your comment box in Momedase?